Hey everyone, it's Mackenzie. So for today's video, I am going to actually be doing a in-depth tutorial on how to shape and fill in your eyebrows. This is something that I have gotten requested for a little while now, and I do feel like I do them a little bit differently than most people on YouTube do. So that is why I wanted to show you. It's not something that you have to do. You do not have to do it this way, but I just wanted to show you the way that I do it and what works for me, because it could possibly work for you. So if you are interested in seeing how to get these brows, then go ahead and keep on watching.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Alright guys, so we're going to jump into creating our sister snatched brows. Oh my God, I've been watching so many James Charles videos. So the thing that I do before I start my brows is I always blend foundation onto my forehead. And the reason why I do this is because I find that I struggle when I do my brows first and then do my foundation, because I don't know if I just suck, but I find that I usually will either get foundation on my brow by accident, or I'll accidentally like smear my brow. Like, it's hard to get close to it and cover it with foundation. So I just do that before I draw on my brows, and then we don't have that issue. So yeah, that's just like a little trick if you had that same issue too. Most people like to use brow pencils. From the brow pencils I've tried, I hated the way my brows looked. I don't remember the ones that I tried. I know I didn't like the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I don't know why. I couldn't get it to work. It just looked streaky, and like my brows they just looked really bad. I find that I personally work better with powders. I'm not trying to bash the Anastasia Brow Wiz in any way. It works for a lot of people. I guess just me personally, I do better with brow powders. I do want to try different brow pencils to see if I end up liking them. I really want to try the Benefit one that everyone and their mother talks about now, but in this video I will be using powder. And actually I use eyeshadow because I don't know why. It's like I don't have to buy a separate brow product. I don't know, it just has been working for me lately.
Don't freaking hate on me.
The colors that I've been using lately are from the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. This is Dose of Colors X Desi X Katie, their palette. Mine has been through it. She's very well loved. But I like to use this dark brown shade. So if your hair color is similar to mine, then you can kind of get that guide. And then I'll usually will go in with a lighter shade for the inner portion to try to get kind of like the ombre, if you will. So yes, that is what we're gonna be doing today. The typical tip that you hear is that depending on your hair color, if you have light hair, you should go 2 shades darker, and if you have dark hair, you should go 2 shades lighter than your hair color. Me personally, if I have dark hair, I like to have dark eyebrows. That's just personal preference. The thing that you gotta keep in mind is there are no rules to makeup. You just have to, figure out what you like. So makeup is all about trial and error. You gotta try it out, see if you like it. If you don't like it, try something new. That's all there is to it, and let's go ahead and get started with drawing on the brows. This is the brush I like to take. It is a thin angled brush. This one, I do not know who it's by. I've had this for years. Like I said before, I'm going to be taking this dark brown shade. And this is the shade that I like to focus on the outer portion of my eyebrow. The way I usually like to start doing this is by sketching out the top of my brow first and drawing that initial line. And I like to just follow my natural shape, especially this area right here. Like, they are just pretty sparse and they don't have the exact it's not like as visible of a shape as I want. So that's why I do this. as you start to get to the tail of the brow, that's when you want to start using a way lighter hand so that you can get that just like sharp line at the end of it. And also you can always clean that up too if you go in with a little bit of a too heavy hand. It didn't sound right. We'll clean that up with concealer, you'll see. You're gonna be taking that same color, and now you're just gonna start drawing on the bottom line. Same technique as before, where you're gonna want a lighter hand as you get more to the tail area. And then just lightly fill it in, kind of like how I'm doing. And that is the outside of the brow. You can keep going in and adding color where you feel like you need it, fixing up the shape a little bit. Next, you're gonna want to wipe off that product that you had on it. And I'm going to be taking a lighter shade to do the inner portion. So I'm actually going to be taking this light brown here. So on that same brush, you're gonna wanna go in with a light hand. And I like to start at the top. And blend it in the bottom. And then just fill it in. I like to do motions like this where I'm kind of like brushing upward. And like just kind of a mix of that and going like side to side. And that is the brow before we clean it up. When you clean it up, that really just, it ties it together. It is necessary to do it, trust me. For cleaning up the brow, I like to use concealer. So I'm gonna be taking my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And you guys are gonna judge me for this, but this is the brush that I take it on. This is literally a paintbrush. I'm not kidding. Any flat top brush will do the job. And I like to just kind of like scrape the concealer off of the brush, or yeah, off of the applicator. Now we go in and start carving. So I like to just kind of like go like this away from the brow just to help get majority of that product off. You don't want to go in with like a huge glob of concealer. And then I like to start at the front of my brow, and you're basically just going to be underlining it. Now when it gets towards the tail of the brow, I like to kind of angle it a little bit more instead of it going down. So I'll take that concealer and just keep following that line. And then as you can see, it really sharpens the tip of the brow. And then you want to move this concealer downward so it's not globbing up towards the brow. And then I just take the concealer and cover my entire eyelid. I do this is my routine before I apply any eyeshadow or do anything to my eyes. I use this instead of a actual eyeshadow primer. I use concealer, just to cover redness and veins and give me like a nice clean base. Then I just like to go in with my beauty blender and just dab it out. And next I just take powder. This is my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. And I like to take it on this sort of flat shader brush. And I just go in and I pat this onto my eyelid. This is to help prevent creasing. Sometimes I do this before my eyeshadow, sometimes I don't set, but I'm not going to be going in with eyeshadow today for my look. So usually if I'm not, I'll just immediately go ahead and set it so that my eyelids aren't weird and creasy. So that is basically how I get my brows every day. All right, so these are my brows and my whole glam all complete. If you are interested in seeing how I do my base, like my foundation, all of that, go ahead and watch my previous video before this one, and that'll be an in-depth of how I do that and the products that I usually use. I hope you guys liked this video and that maybe it showed you a new way of doing your brows. If it did and you found this helpful, please do let me know. I would love to hear that. I feel like I do them a little bit differently than a lot of people do, just because most people do the brow pencils. I just don't. I hope you guys go ahead and subscribe and like this video and stay tuned for my next one. Love you guys so much. Bye guys.